Let's make a giant DIY peppermint chocolate bar for our gingerbread house. Look how cute and realistic this chocolate bar is, you guys. I'm so excited to show you this. First things first, why spend $3 a tray when you can spend $1.25 for 30? First thing we're going to want to do is overlap 2 poster boards about 3 inches and glue them together. These 2 poster boards cost $1.25 each, and it's much cheaper than buying one of those giant boxes. The next thing I'm going to do is just take my hot glue gun and add some glue to the flat part of all these trays and then just glue them down. Now each pack of these trays come with 30, so if you wanted to make 2 life-size candy bars, you could essentially make this to where you only put about 15 on the poster boards, but I decided to use 18. The next thing I wanted to do, which I felt like was really going to give it a realistic look, was cut out a bite. So I'm just taking a very sharp blade, be careful when doing this, and I am just cutting out a bite mark. Don't worry about the holes, we will fix those later. To give it an even more realistic look, I am taking up some peppermint and I am crushing it with my hammer to add it on top. If you're using spray paint, you guys, make sure you protect your floors, your surfaces, and do not do this inside. And you guys, if you're going to be using the spray foam, please buy some damn gloves. Like, come on now. This is where I fucked up. I used the spray foam to fill in the gaps from the bite, and it just overexpanded and was a whole mess. So do not be like me and do not use the spray foam. We are going to use something else later in this video, and I will show you in just a second. Next, I am just using a chocolate brown color that I got from Lowe's for $4, and I am just spraying this thing. Now, be careful with the styrofoam. You need to gradually spray this in light layers. If you do not spray it gradually in light layers, unfortunately, it will eat through the styrofoam and you will end up with a very, very big mess. So take your time. A little patience goes a long way. And here I am re-spraying the area that I had to repair. So instead of using the insulated foam to fill in these cracks from the bite mark, I did decide to pick up some air dry clay for $1 from the Dollar Tree and use that to stuff in some of the area and mold around it. This really worked out really well and still gave me a nice realistic bite mark. And this is what it looks like. Now we are just going to take that same spray paint and color over this. Now I took that same bag of peppermints and shook some of the remnants onto the paint while it was still wet. And it is coming together so nicely, you guys. I love it. Now, as you can see in this part, I did use some of that air dried clay and kind of added like a chocolate drip to some of the areas. I just feel like it just gave it such a good look. And I am using my glue gun to glue on some of the bigger peppermint pieces so they are more visible. And as you guys know, every chocolate bar is pretty much wrapped in that foil wrapping first, and then they wrap it in whatever signature wrapping that they have. If it's a Hershey's bar, it comes with the foil, and then they add their Hershey logo on the paper on the outside. So again, we want this to be as realistic as possible. So we are going to wrap this in foil first. Once we get it all wrapped in the foil, then I'm going to use one of the $1.25 table party covers from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut that into size, fold it into half, and then wrap it around my candy bar. And it was about right here where I realized I needed another piece of foil because the tablecloth is just a little too thin. So I have a big gap right there, but we're gonna fill that in, so don't worry about it. Now with the way that I wrapped the bottom, I kind of placed the foil to where you wouldn't be able to see an opening at the bottom, and I kind of folded it up over the bottom of this candy bar instead of just folding it from left to right. here is where I decided to add in that other piece of foil to cover in that gap, so that way when we add the tablecloth on top, even though I'm folding the tablecloth in half so it's doubled up, it was still see-through, but this way you won't be able to see through and see the white poster board underneath or any of the chocolate. It just becomes very solid. And I know I am speeding this up a lot because I really wanted to make sure I got everything in one video for you guys. So feel free to go to your settings and change it to have it slow down some, or just save the video and scroll at your own leisure. But yeah, so that's why everything's sped up. Sorry guys. Now I'm going to be adding this tablecloth as the candy wrapper. I decided to just neatly fold it to where I glued it to the back of the candy bar, since nobody is going to see that side anyway. Right here, I decided to cut a slit down the middle so that way I could open up the candy bar a little. I didn't want to crush the foil, but I just kind of wanted to leave it like flapped open on each side. I don't know, I just feel like it looked better. And you guys, I really lucked out. I went thrifting for a lot of the material, and I found this really cute box of candy cane letters. So if you don't or can't find something like this, I suggest just printing it out and cutting it. I feel like that would work as well. I think I spent maybe $1.50 on this whole box of letters, and I still have so many left. But again, I just really lucked out with that. And this also gave me the idea to make it a peppermint chocolate bar instead of just a plain chocolate bar. And here is the final product, you guys. Now let's go over a price breakdown. I used 2 poster boards at $1.25 each. I used part of a party tablecloth cover at $1.25. I bought spray paint at $4. I bought a bag of peppermints at $1.25. I used half of a pack of the 30 count styrofoam trays at $1.25, which adds to about like 70 cents. And then I lucked out by thrifting these letters and have a ton left over. So for a grand total of about $10-11, I think I did really well.